Guys, so I'm trying to show you my updated pedal board here. I'm using my wife's camera stand, so let's see how that works out. Hopefully it doesn't fall in the video or something like that. All I did was add the phaser in the metal zone and move things around. And in the previous videos I talked about why. So let's go through the pedals one at a time. First of all, I got my Korg Pitchblack tuner here. All that does is just let me mute the guitar while I'm tuning it. I would actually really love a tuner that had two different buttons, a mute, or you know what I would like? I would like the tuner to just always tune no matter what, and then the button is for mute. So there are times when I would like to be able to tune it unmuted, but for the most part muted is better. So I take it off. I've got my black Strat here, I'm not sure if you can see it, and going through my Crate Vintage Club amp, volumes at about 4, which is about as loud as I would ever bother to get with this amp. This is a loud amp. A lot of gigs I do with it, it's 2 or 3. So 4 is pretty high, but I want to kind of push it so I can show you the natural overdrive of the amp combined with the pedals and things of that nature. So my Strat is tuned down a half step just because a lot of the music that I play is in flat keys. I'm using 10s, I think? I can never remember because I've used 10s on some guitars and 11s on others. I think these are 10s. I always use coated strings. And I normally play with the pickup selector on both neck and middle. So it's the second of the 5 settings. This Strat has a humbucker in the bridge pickup, which is just how I got it. I originally planned to swap it out for the original pickup, and I left it because I actually really like it. But it's nothing I would do of my own accord. So typically I play with the pickup selector here. I'll just go through the different sounds. So here's, I'll start with the neck pickup. Neck and center. Center. Here's center and bridge. Here's bridge. So my most common is neck and center, and then my second most common, and this is only with distortion, is bridge. And there are times when I'll use I use all 5 settings on the guitar, just if I feel like I want a little bit more. The other settings are all very mid-rangey, very punchy to me, so sometimes if I want a little bit more like I'm playing, you know. Okay, here's middle. You can hear that cuts through a lot more. So, that bridge in center is actually kind of nice. I've never played rhythm on that before that I recall. So there's a lot of different options, but my default is this. So I showed the tuner. Here's the envelope filter. All of my settings tend to change, not deliberately. It's just when I put the cables in here and close the case, the knobs get bumped, and so I typically will just, you know, when I open up the case, I'll look at them and see if anything looks way out of whack, and if so, I'll adjust it, and other times I have to adjust it while playing, but they don't generally stay, which is too bad. So I've kind of memorized where they need to go. Also, the ones that have gain adjustments, which is pretty much the distortion, that gets changed a lot based on guitar, because the Strats have a much lower output than the Schector does. So here's the filter. This pretty much just gets adjusted for the output of the guitar. Wah does. And since I have the pedal board sitting up, I can't play using my foot, so I'll just have to. Uh-oh, did I just lose the camera? It looked like I did, but not badly. So we're still in the mix. Hope it doesn't fall. It's leaning. It's leaning bad. So I was talking in other videos, the Metal Zone was my go-to like lead line distortion and solo distortion for a long time. Then when my board got stolen, I decided to try some different things. I was originally going to get a Jekyll and Hyde, and I think it was probably my friend Greg, who used to work at Guitar Center, who said, no, you got to try the GT500, it's way better than Jekyll and Hyde. And he was right. The GT500 is just a sweet-sounding overdrive distortion pedal. And I don't know if they burn the Jekyll and Hyde or vice versa, because they're both red dual pedals. So I don't know who came first. Clearly one is a burn of the other. But so that's what I ended up with. But this was my go-to for a while. And I bought a Metal Zone at the same time just because I missed it. And I haven't put it on my pedal board since, but I've been thinking about it. So I figured I'd put it on there and see which distortion I end up using more. So here's the Metal Zone. I told you I usually use bridge pickup for distortion, so here's bridge pickup with distortion. Okay, so let's compare that. Here's the distortion on this thing. I'll go back to the neck and center. Okay, and then here I'll go back to the bridge pickup. So let's keep the pickup in one place and do the comparison. So we'll go back to the Metal Zone, we'll go back to the neck and center. Now we'll go to the GT500. Same pickup. Now we're going to switch to the bridge pickup, Metal Zone. GT500. I'm trying to play the same thing every time, but it's not happening. So they're not really that different, but they're definitely different. It'll be interesting to see how they sit differently in the mix, which one I use more. So then I got my overdrive here. So overdrive, and I can use that with the distortions, although I don't really see why. So we'll do the this one with it first. There's I can switch the order of it too. section. We got the phaser here. So this is the main thing that I added, because I already had distortions, even though I had the metal zone. And, what are we seeing in the shot there? Is that oh, that's the stand, isn't it? Yeah, that's the camera stand. So the thing has started leaning bad. Let's see if I can fix that real quick. If not, no big deal, but, see if I can put something in here. Stop all that gangster lean. It didn't really make that much of a difference. Now this bag is showing too. Your bag is showing, man. MIA has a whole system with this thing, but I don't understand it. Okay. So, I've always loved the sound of a phaser. I always thought it was cool, but I just didn't think it was very useful. I was doing gospel, and I was doing top 40 and R&B, hip-hop, and it just wasn't a sound you heard as much. You still hear it occasionally, but not very often. I was trying to keep the things on the pedal board that I used a lot. And, lately I've been in 3 bands now that cover old school funk, and 2 of them that's primarily what they do. So it seemed like an opportune time to add a phaser, especially when you're playing a lot of rhythm stuff. If you're doing that for hours every night, which I love to do, it's one of my favorite things to play, is simple, funky rhythm stuff. But eventually you get tired of the same tone every time. So I figured, why not experiment with the phaser. So and I haven't used this live yet, so I don't know which I'm going to do. It's got 2 modes on it. That's the more subtle one. Here's the more overt one. I think these knobs got bumped a little bit. I'm going to change it to more where I had it. I think I had it closer to maybe that. First mode again. Most famously, you hear a phaser on Flashlight. So that'll be cool to have. And then lastly, I got my analog delay here, the carbon copy. I usually keep it about the same setting. So let's try some combinations of things. Let's try filter and flanger. That'll be funky. Okay. Let's try the flanger with a lot of things, because I haven't tried that before. Let's try flanger in metal zone. easy way to do wah and distortion because of not having foot, but let's just try it. That phaser and distortion makes me sound like Ernie Isley. If for anybody watching who doesn't know Ernie Isley Brothers, who's that lady? So yeah, this will be fun to have these added things. I don't know how much I'm going to use the metal zone. It looks like I can definitely have some fun with the phaser by adding it to the distortion. I'll do some solos with that if nothing else. I don't think I mentioned it. This is a capo that I use if I ever want to play open chords. It says 7th on it. I can't remember the name brand of it, but it's a best capo I've ever had. I should probably remember the name brand. think I've showed you everything, every combination of things. I've been having a little bit of fun playing guitar. I like playing guitar. So, if you can think of anything else you want to see, let me know. If not, here's the new pedal board. Still room to add the Bad Monkey if I want to put it there and move that over, but I want to see how easy it is to stomp the metal zone with this in front of it first. So, that's what I got. Thanks for watching.